Hey there, Peter Lou here. I was asking myself this question just a minute ago, and I was thinking, like, I should ask myself this question probably, like, at every turn. And I was asking myself, like, why am I doing this? I'm sitting here on the porch in the sun. I was like, so why am I sitting here? And, the simple answer was it's sunny, it's warm, it's beautiful. And I was like, let me get some sunshine because it feels good. And, it kind of seems to me like if I ask myself this question like all the time, it might actually help me focus on like an overall like direction. And the direction is basically, I want to be happy. And I think this is like kind of simple, but sometimes we need to actually say this to ourselves and ask ourselves what in this situation that I'm doing right at this moment um, adds to that whole idea of like what you know what makes me happy and what makes me feel good. And it's not just like instant. It's like it just feels good to like scratch my nose or you know whatnot. But what overall is the feeling that I'm trying to achieve by the life that I'm living. And one of the things that I thought about actually is this idea about like feeling good and being happy, and what is that composed of? And I started thinking about like the idea of well-being, like, and that things are in alignment, they make sense, um, and things have a sense of ease to them. You know, that I'm not kind of like struggling and fighting. And not that, everything's going to be easy, but that the overall sense of what you're doing um, should always be, I think, contributing to the sense of like well-being. And I found it interesting that I looked up like what the word wealth is. And wealth actually comes from an Old English word, weal, W-E-A-L, which basically means uh, well-being, which is composed of happiness. It's composed of um, sense of feeling good, um, and it's about being satisfied with your actions. So wealth which is usually like associated with like money and material goods, actually has a more basic meaning because those things are intended to bring you a sense of well-being, right? Like having abundance, having the life that you want, materially, that you have, you're not like in dire poverty. It's all about like having a sense of well-being. So I actually was like very inspired by a book that I just finished reading called Spontaneous Evolution by Bruce Lipton and Steve Behrman. Bruce Lipton is an evolutionary biologist and a really leading edge biologist, and really kind of like brings together the whole concept that what you believe has everything to do with creating your reality. And that's a really fascinating set of ideas that I want to get into. And so in the next series of blogs, I'm going to kind of use his book as an outline uh, for answering some basic questions like, where do we come from? Why are we here? And where are we going? These are some basic questions that sort of form a foundation of like what's true. Every culture and society asks these questions, and we look to different places to find those answers. So in the next series of blogs, I am going to go into that using the book Spontaneous Evolution as the framework. It's an amazing book, and really, it's a roller coaster ride. So So anyway, stay tuned for the next one, and we're going to get started. Okay. See you next time.